Today we're going to take a look at the Hollywood Starlet Grade 1, $429,000 for 2-year-old fillies. This is a very competitive race. It's an excellent horse race. Could be good payoffs. There's going to be a couple horses that are going to be played pretty heavy, I would imagine. We're looking at a mile and a 16th on the Hollywood synthetic track. Start off with the Toro Bonito. This is a El Corredor filly here, trained by Bob Baffert. You know, you watch him with the young ones. He's always, pretty much has his class horses running in these kind of races. Very fit and ready to roll. Nothing wrong with this horse. Talking about a horse with 5 starts, 4 times on the board, only 1 win, but $84,000 in the bank. So, this horse right here, I think from my perspective, it's probably not going to be on the top of my ticket. But you're talking about a horse that was 5 lengths from stardom bound in the Oak Leaf. Rebounds to a 3rd place finish behind a couple horses in this race. And then it was beat by a length in the Sharp Cat to Panoma Ball, and seemed to close pretty well. Horse seems to like the distance. So good connections, good horse. Going to be a good price, maybe worth a play. And keep in mind, this is a January filly, so she's going to be a little bit older than some of these other fillies that she's matching up with in this race. And sometimes that matters. If a horse they grow different times, different paces, and a January 2-year-old has the tendency to be maybe a bigger, a little more mature than an April or May 2-year-old. So next horse, Laura. This is from the IEAH syndicate, the New York boys up there. Bought this horse for the Breeders' Cup turf, juvenile turf, and horse went wire to wire, got caught in the stretch by some good horses. Obviously a very classy Tappet filly. This is a March filly. Got my favorite jockey, Edgar Prado, making the trip cross country to ride this horse for IEAH, and John Terranova training. This horse coming off a great workout at Belmont Training Track, 2 out of 66, breezing. Only knock on this horse is that we're talking about a turf horse that's been on Pauley track twice, and then they put the horse on the turf for some reason, so they're going to try her back on the synthetic surface. I think this is probably going to be the favorite. Now the 3 times this horse has been around 2 turns, they've all been on the turf, so we'll see how that impacts her performance today. Next horse, Alpha Kitten. Looking at some of the best connections in the business here. With you got Mr. and Mrs. Moss, you got Mike Smith, and you got John Sadler. This is another homebred from that powerful trio, and this is my top pick in this race. I like this horse. Again, I like the connections. They've been very patient with this filly, as they always are. Probably could have ran in the Breeders' Cup, but was held back, and set their sights on the Hollywood Starlet, and I will not overlook that. So on my ticket, Alpha Kitten will be on the top. Next horse, Winning Ride. A little bit of a long shot here, but you're talking about a $120,000 Candy Ride filly with Bob Baffert training. There's no reason why, if this horse wins, no one will be surprised. So you're talking about a horse beaten 2.5 lengths to Vita Argentina and a couple of other good horses. Seems to be a plotter type. And in this particular race, we're not looking at a ton of early speed. I think Laura is the horse that has shown the most consistent early pace. So we're not sure how the late runners are going to do in this race. But at a long, this horse has been 20-1 both starts, and won one of them, and the other one was second by 2 1/4 lengths. So this horse could hit the board. Looking at Dave's Revenge, Kent DeSormo in for the ride. This is a $45,000 Cliff's Edge. Wasn't a huge fan of the Cliff's Edge, but we're talking about a horse that breaks his maiden at Del Mar at a mile, first time out. 37-1, comes back and runs 4th, beaten 3 lengths to Stardom Bound, Dream Empress, and Sky Diva in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. Had traffic troubles in that race, if you remember, couldn't get through. Then was actually kind of pushed back at the 3/16 pole. But for me, this horse will be on my ticket. You're talking about a horse that'll probably be at a good price, could win the race. But I'm going to have Alpha Kitten on top. Dave's Revenge will be on there somewhere. Now we move to Pomona Ball, who is a consistent performer out of the Champion Pleasantly Perfect. This is a $380,000 filly who was purchased for 10 times the stud fees. Anyway, you got Rafael Bejarano, who's probably the top jockey out in California right now, and Ian Hardy. So we're talking about, and the Darley Stables, the owner. So we're talking about another trio of the top flight horsemen. We're talking about a horse who just came off a victory in the Sharp Cat against a very good field. This horse seems to be a steady plotter, and in this race may pay off very well for her, as we have one horse with a pretty good pace, and if this horse can stay close and Laura can get a little bit tired, Pomona Ball is going to be in position to strike. This horse was a favorite last race out. This horse has carried the weight, and it's coming off a 9 out of 62 5-furlong work at Santa Anita. This horse is probably going to be right there, but again, I'm looking for a price, as I always do. Pick six fix. We try to we bet the toothpick to win the forest. It's one of my mottos that I learned from my father. So then in that last horse, Black Magic Mama. Talking about a maiden here. Horse never won, and this will be her third Grade 1 out of 5 starts, and never won. But talking Doug O'Neill, you have Corey Nakatani riding. Horse is working good. Horse has been in every race. You know, had the lead in the last race and kind of allowed Bikili to pass her up there at the end of the race. It was a small field. A lot of times the small fields for horses with a little bit of front speed are difficult races for them. And I think that was kind of the case for Black Magic Mama in her last maiden effort. And then before that, 7 lengths beaten in the Juvenile Fillies and 5 lengths beaten in the Oak Leaf. So that's the story with Black Magic Mama. So for me, I'm going with Alpha Kitten. I'm following the Mosses, Mike Smith and John Seiler, to the winner's circle with this horse. And one of the bets that I always like to make when I have a horse that's 5 to 1 or more, not that Alpha Kitten will be, but I like to play a $1 exacta with my horse keyed on top of the all. And that's probably what I'm going to do on this play. I'm going to put Alpha Kitten on top of the all. It's a $7 play, and we'll see what happens, as Alpha Kitten should be a decent price, and I think it's a competitive race, competitive enough to where any of these horses can make a good run at the end. If Laura gets tired, this is going to pay a ton. And coming off the turf to the poly track, we have that chance. So I'm going with Alpha Kitten, who has earned the highest buyer in the group and has the connections I like. Good luck. And if you have a chance, I don't know if TVG is going to be covering this, but the Hong Kong racing meet has some great races tonight. And you're talking about Kip DeVille is going for the Hong Kong Mile. Hasn't been won by an American since 1997. So I'll be rooting for him tonight. Hopefully that'll be on TVG. And if it is, what I like to do is I like to find the website with the Hong Kong odds, and I like to find the American odds. And I like to see who on track is low odds and who in my pool are high odds. And then you can kind of get an idea of who you want to play from that angle. But 4 races worth $14 million tonight in Hong Kong. Good luck, and we'll see you next week.